I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Welcome to the Awesome and Gizmo Show. Pick the gears up. I'm ready to go grab something to eat. Got some groceries. Back. So much has been said recently. It's really sad. It's really sad to know that the black men in my community are looking for daddies. Shout out to Miss Loretta Toombs. Appreciate you being here, Loretta. Loretta, it's about to get ugly. Because sister, I'm not able to hide my disdain and my disgust any longer. Oh yeah, I'm not well, Loretta. I'm not well because I'm very disturbed. I'm very disturbed um, with black men and their inability to discern and decipher information for self. This addiction to podcasters and entertainers and people who tell them how to live their lives. Loretta, I don't know if you, Miss Toombs, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but there was a guy who came on Corey Holcomb, and he said that men should never get married under any circumstances. And his position is it's not a good bet under any circumstances. Well, I disagree. I think that marriage is a beautiful thing between a black man and a black woman if done correctly. And as long as there's a hierarchy of power and he keeps his masculinity as and she's able to be in her feminine, I think it's a beautiful thing. There's so I asked a couple guys about that. They told me it was a bad bet and that Corey was right. So my response to that was, okay, if that's true, then that would mean that there are no eligible black women who are not going to go to the courts to destroy you. That would be your art because that's essentially what you're saying. There are absolutely no eligible. There's absolutely none that it's impossible to find a black woman who will not go to the courts to try to destroy you once you have something. I get crickets. I said, just answer my question, brother. Just I'm asking you that. I get no response. But I've noticed that this affection, a lot of these black men are looking for daddies. It's okay. Sometimes it has to get ugly. I totally understand the feeling. I'm feeling sad. Sister, I'm gonna tell you something. This notion, this this these it's there's a lot of black men that are looking for daddies on the internet. They're looking for men to tell them how to live their lives. They didn't get the structure and they didn't get the instruction as young boys. So now they've come to the internet with these pent up frustrations and they're unsuccessful with women, largely, a lot of these guys. And instead of embracing their own imperfection and saying, you know what, let me just boss my life up, let me turn into the winner that I know I can be. And then I have my selection of the women of my choice. Instead of that, your response is, I want a soft life, which is the soft guy era. What man, what's Loretta, my head hurt. Chat, my head hurt. What man thinks his life is supposed to be soft? By the very fact that you were born a man means that you're going to have a difficult existence, and especially a black man. You're going to have to struggle. That is a part of masculinity. It is taking L's, it is losing, it is being embarrassed, it is falling on your face, and then there's the comeback. That's that's part of it. So the idea that you can forego all of that and women should just accept you as you are because some cornball on the internet, and I'm gonna call a lot of these guys cornballs, Loretta. I have to, because here's the thing, right? What I noticed is they're popular, but see, they ain't me, and they don't get nobody to push back like everybody up there is in agreement with everything they say. I'm not no flunky, Loretta. I don't care nothing about how what I'm saying makes a man feel. You're a man, dog. For you to keep coming to the internet looking for people to agree with you and looking for validation, you like the very women who you claim to despise. I've seen guys in the comment section trolling women. Is it, bro? What's masculine about that? What's masculine about jumping in a woman's comment section and trolling her? What fulfillment do you get from that? Shout out to Think First. That duct tape on the poster is cornball work, bro. Thank you. Hey, Think First. Listen, you know I still got it up there, right? And I left it up there because that's just my little thing, and I brought them from West Virginia when I had them. So I like to keep the little duct tape up there because that's kind of my thing. But do you think that what I said is right? Think First. Do you have any? I appreciate your comment. Do you? That may not be. I don't know if it's cornball work. I would say it's a little tacky. I wouldn't call it cornball. Though. I would call it probably a little tacky because in the end, I tend to be that. I tend to be that way a little bit. At first, think you need to move around, dude. Think first. Be nice. Be a gentleman. Think first. Be a gentleman. I'll tell you what though. You tell me if anything I'm saying is incorrect. Now, take the. I know that you right about that, and like I said, that could be a little tacky. But I tell you what. You tell me if I'm wrong about this. What's masculine about jumping in a woman's comment section and trolling? Tell me that. Now you came over here to, you know what I mean? I don't know if you came to troll. I don't know if you came to make a point. I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? As you see, I didn't change it, right? Because in the end, the internet don't move me. See, that's the difference between me and a lot of other men. But I'm a stone cold man, Think First. I'm the realest man you'll ever meet in your life. You'll never meet another man like me, right? And the reason that my channel is not booming is because I'm just too real. But it will. In the end, you can't deny me because I'm coming. If I was to insult my people, if I was to be the type of guy who was to dog my own people, then my comment, then I would jump. But I'll never do anything specifically for money. Think first. Dude, I stopped dating a chick because she didn't order a steak, right? What is masculine about that? Okay, think first. Are you a man or a woman? Okay, because I want to make sure I'm addressing you correctly. Think first. Dude, you stopped dating. Well, it wasn't, see, think first, you have to listen a little bit closer. I didn't stop dating her specifically because she didn't order the steak. I stopped dating her because she wouldn't listen to me. That was the issue. And I saw that as the tip of the iceberg. So I need you to understand a little bit more. I said that too. I don't switch up. She didn't listen. That was the issue. I'm telling her, baby, this is not how you eat a steak. Let me show you. She was so caught up on what she thought that she could not listen to me. If you cannot listen to me, then you cannot be with me. So there's that. I can believe that. What you can believe, Miss Loretta, you are trying too hard, dude. Nah, you said what you. Yeah, I said, bro. I listen. I don't want to be disrespectful. You said I said what I said. I know I said what I said. I didn't change it. I always said when Kendra asked for clarification, I said it wasn't about the steak. It was about the fact that she would not listen. Now, I know the internet is full of people who just want to hear what they want to hear. You can leave or you can stay. However, that's the facts. Okay, I don't change up for nobody. Now you can take that or leave it. Let's see. Shout out to Mr. Retta. When you're in real motion, let me see. When your real motion is always slow, that's how it is. Yes, yes. Well, listen. This is facts. Melly, what's going on? When your real motion is always slow, that's how it is. When your real motion is slow, that's something to think about. That's a little deep. I can I can see that. I think the creator does things in his own time. Like he doesn't do things in my time. I know I used to always try to jump the gate, you know what I mean, and try to get on some stuff and try to move too fast. However, you know what I'm saying? What I've learned is I have to move very, very cautiously, especially now, y'all, because I can do nothing that's gonna get put me in a position to jeopardize and get out the way. Think first, listen, did you stay? Did you stay? I think first left. But that's my issue. That's my issue, y'all. But let's get back to the let's get back on task here. What I want to say is this. And Lord knows I love my people, but black men are going to have to be more masculine. They're going to have to, because I did a video on this briefly. I went live earlier, ladies. I don't know if y'all had an opportunity to watch or catch the replay or whatever. I went on to because these things are very and these are very serious, and our community is at a crossroads. And like as I said, I think about my daughter. I think about who's going to take care of her when I'm gone. Who's going to take care of her when I'm old, right? When I'm not able to move. When you know what I mean? When she needs a man, who can she look to if the men out here are looking for soft lives? If the men out here listen to podcasters and say, now listen, if a man doesn't want to get married, I'm okay with that. And I've said this, Loretta, Miss Toombs, I said, if a man doesn't want to get married and that's not his calling, that's fine. But however, most men wish to leave a legacy behind. That's his children, right? Why not make it? Why would you not want to make an honest woman out of? Why would you not want your children to see you marry their mother? And there's not, and so this notion that there are no eligible marriage-minded black women without children, it's just a farce, right? It's a 100% farce. And when you push that, these dummies on the internet, y'all, here's what I'm saying. The internet is full of stupid people, because what they'll do is they don't care about the truth. They only want they only listen to respond. They don't listen to hear. Like, case I'm not calling the guy who was in, I don't know if it was a guy or a woman, but I think it was a woman. Said, you said you're trying too hard, bro. Or said, I said what I said. I said specifically because she didn't listen. That was the issue. You have to listen. If you can listen to me, then I can teach you. If you cannot listen, then you got to go. So if you're too silly to understand that you have to be a man to be able to stand firm, you shouldn't be with nobody no way, dog. Because you too slow to get it. And anybody who only listens to respond is never somebody that I truly want in my presence anyway. I'm going to tell y'all something. I do this as a journal as well, because I want my daughter to have, if something happens to me, because this stuff will live on. This is what my daddy wanted. This is what he thought. This was his true love for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't have to go looking for someone else to tell her something. She doesn't have to, you know what I'm saying, she doesn't have to look outside for understanding. She can go right to the internet. If I was to pass today, hopefully that does not happen. At some point, she could come here. This is what your father believed. This is what he wanted. So it's kind of my living journal. So I do this selfishly, in truth. That's part of it. But I also care very much about the masculinity, self-esteem, and uplifting of black men. That is very, very near and dear to me. And it always has been. Because when you have strong men in the community, you have a strong community. And when you have men, and you tell men that to not get married. Don't worry about getting married. No, 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 no. There's no marriage. There's no women out here for you to marry. It is a 100% trap. And you know what's funny? And this is what really bothers me, Miss Toom. Last time I checked, and I always say these numbers, and then people just get very, very quiet. Black people have 2% of the wealth, 2 to 3% of the whole pie of wealth in this country. Millie, no, it's not okay. I'm kind of on a tangent. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. I'm a little ranting because I just noticed how many men are on the internet looking for daddies. A lot of these black men are on the internet looking for daddies. They're looking for instruction from podcasters, right? And they're not able to discern and decipher information for self. They won't go out. Most of these guys won't even walk up to a woman and take a no. They won't even walk up to a woman and take a no. As if her saying no is the worst thing in the world. Dog, your self-esteem should be so unflappable, so absurdly serious that nothing she says could ever, her accepting you or not accepting you, it don't make you shot your shot. So what? You kept it moving. And you take that move on, move around. Hey, baby, I appreciate that. You take care. Not got you got mad and you got upset and you want to threaten a woman and this, that, and the third. Listen, man, you tried to shoot your shot. Hey, baby, listen, I think you're looking real good. Hey, listen, as long as I got a face, you got a place to sit or whatever you know what I mean? Whatever, listen, well, why don't you let me, you know what I'm saying, buy you an ice cream cone or something one day. The woman said no. You graciously accept and move around. Why? You niggas won't even get out here and take a L. You know what I'm saying? And get with a woman and try to get with a woman, but you're mad. Let me, shout out to Miss Toombs. I'm understanding what you're saying and you're right. Thank you, Miss Toombs. I appreciate you. They can't handle rejection. No emotional intelligence. This is facts. Being a man means losing, dog. Being a man is losing, especially if you're not born on third base like a Donald Trump son, or you know what I'm saying, or Stephen Jones, or you know what I mean, or one of the Bilderbergs or the Waltons, or you know what I'm saying. The majority of us are starting at home plate. Really, for real, we ain't got that. We got to get on base first. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta really listen, man. There's nothing wrong with a woman. There's nothing wrong with a woman with taking the L from a woman, man. There's one guy. What's this guy? Oh my God, he gives out the worst advice. What did he say? Oh, what? I can't think of his name. What is this guy's name? I'll never forget it. Chat. He said it'll come to me, but he said, "Man, listen, we don't do no cold approaching. It's called a cold approach now. A woman got to send choosing signals in order for me to. You shouldn't cold approach under no circumstance. A cornball. This is what I mean. This is what I mean by these podcasters being stupid. What if she was raised like my daughter's going to be raised, to be soft and feminine and shy? What if that's the case? So what if she's raised to be a lady and she's just waiting on a man she may be interested in you, but you never said nothing. What about that? What about those women that's just waiting on you? Man, get your dumb ass out my face, man. Shout out to Eli. This is why I'm single. It's too. I don't blame you, Miss Toombs. I think it will get better because here's the thing. I'm here now, and I'm gonna call it like I say. Like. Here's the thing. You're not gonna have a choice, but you're gonna have to deal with me because I'm not going nowhere. Shout out to Eli. Why did you change the channel name? That's a good question, Eli. I thought that it was. I got asked that too earlier. I think, and I responded on one of the posts I made. I thought it was time, Eli. I'm not a goon anymore. I'm a father, right? And I'm a man, and so I don't want to continue to promote goon. I don't want to continue to promote that. I miss Gizmo on the go. I thought it was kind of catchy, Eli, too. I did. You know what I'm saying? In truth. But however, what I realized is you tend to behave in what you call yourself, right? There tends to be a correlation between what you say you are in your name and how you behave. So therefore, that was kind of my thinking in terms of changing it. Like, you know what? You have to give that up, dog. You're not a goon. You're not putting in no work. You know what I'm saying? You may run your mouth on the internet, but that's about all you're gonna, you know what I'm saying? Unless somebody, unless you just have to, But in the end, I'm not trying to do anything that's going to put myself in a position. Listen, man, it's funny. I'm literally the guy who smells like I'm talking all of this tough stuff, and but then in the end, you know what I'm saying? I'm a guy who's covered in triple ointment, trying to keep my daughter. So, you know what I mean? Like in the end, it was time for me, I think, to just let certain things go and recognize that it's time for me to move past certain thoughts so I can elevate. Because I want my audience, as I elevate, like I would hope to be doing this for quite some time, as long as the creator keeps me here. So what I would hope is that y'all see my growth and I see y'all growth, and y'all see my daughter grow and y'all grow with me. You know what I'm saying? And y'all, like, I remember when he was here, right, from the shelter. Then he was here, this place, and then he went here, and then he went there, and then, you know what I'm saying? So because what I really want to do is give black men hope. You know what I'm saying? Because there's not a lot for us to look to, I think, and a lot of times we glorify the wrong thing. I think we spend a lot of time glorifying the wrong thing. I know I did, because I glorified the guys that I saw in the streets. That was what I used to glorify. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was what it was. And then I glorified the guys that was in prison. You know what I'm saying? Because these guys had all of the respect, and they were killers. You know what I'm saying? These guys were my friends, and they accepted me. You know what I'm saying? And these guys accept my man Ricky Rimmer. You know what I mean? He's still in there. They called him Josie Wells, one of the most dangerous men. Double A, Aaron Atkins. My man Beast Harris, Dwayne Harris. They called him 666. He's 666. He just got out. He was in there since like '84. My man Gaskins Hill. A lot of these guys were personal friends of mine. You know what I'm saying? And still, and I love these guys. Dwayne Miller, and you know what I mean, Money Mont, and you know what I mean. So there's a lot there. There's a lot of history. I grew up in those places. But however, to answer your question, Eli, to get back on task, that's why, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to make some changes mentally. Shout out to Eli, speaking facts though. Thank you. I see your point. I've been here for a while. You might remember me. I do, Eli. I do remember you. You know what I'm saying? I do remember you, man. I thank you for tapping back in. Netherred, you're still in there. If you can't stop talking about it, you're still in there if you can. Well, here's the thing. I think there's truth to that. No, Narati. I try to. I don't speak just about that, but those are words. But I learned a lot from those guys. I learned a lot from those experiences, and so I speak about the things that are like. If you notice, any of my content is very, very new. In terms of today's and what's affecting today, I don't tell prison stories. And if I do, it's only for a context to tell a story. You know what I mean? To get to a larger point. But I'm not one of those channels that speak about jail. I'm not proud of being in there. I'm not ashamed either. It's part of my history, right? So I don't tell it from a standpoint of it makes you tough. It really doesn't. Being a man and being out, a lot of times, most of those guys in there are mentally incapable of taking care of their. A lot of times, guys in prison are not that tough. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, a lot of those guys are very mentally ill who could not make it in the street, and they're looking for they looking. This is hard. Taking care of my daughter every day and getting up is hard with no help. You know what I'm saying? And fighting to get jobs and keep jobs and to, you know what I mean, get up, fighting through traffic on fighting, to get through, get on the bus and get on the train and, say, be consistent and making sure, she gets her bath and making sure, you know what I mean, she's ate, making sure she has her teeth brushed, and I've read her stories, and that's hard. That's hard. You know what I mean? It's not hard being in prison as much as people would think. You know what I mean? Most guys have gotten very comfortable in those places, in truth. So that's really truth. If that sounded rude, my bad. Wasn't my intention. I just been there, so I get it. My bad. No. You didn't. I just no. I'm glad you here. I don't take things personally. I just always would like to give context and give an understanding, so that way you may know. But I do appreciate the apology, but it was not necessary. Not necessary. 8 years in Texas Department. Kareem just yeah, know a lot about that. Glad you back. Hopefully stay out. Don't put yourself in no position to go back. You know what I'm saying? Your worst day out here, you know what I mean, beats anything in that place. They said I was locked up. I went to in Michigan. I did 10 years, and then I did about another total of 8-ish in West Virginia. You know what I'm saying? So 2 years out now, good. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you stay out here in the not a ride. Hopefully I'm saying that right. If I butchered it, then I apologize. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. I appreciate y'all. It's free. You know what I'm saying? And being a man, it's not about. I know this now, and it's crazy. It's pronounced like Gatorade. Natorade. Okay, all right, there it is. That's easy. That's easy to get. It's being a man. It's not about sticking your chest out and being tough physically. It's about being tough mentally. It's about fighting through obstacles. It's about being there for the people that you care about and the people that depend upon you, right? And when you do that, when other people look to you for advice, when other people come to you with their problems and you're able to help them in a way that is beneficial, that's when you know that you're on the pathway of being a man. That's when you know that you've done something worthwhile. You know what I'm saying? Like going to prison is the is and Naderade will tell you this, and Naderade, stop me if I'm lying. The majority of them guys in there is gay anyway. Like it's about seven. Listen, man, it's about seven. If y'all thought them guys is tough, the guys that y'all think is tough, they involved in the nastiest things that you will ever know behind those walls with them punks. This is facts. This is 100% facts. I'm just the guy who's gonna say it, right? Because my reputation is unfailable, right? But there's a lot of guys who were absolutely involved in it. And they try to come out here and try to represent some sort of a tough image. They call it gay for the stay. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to talk too much about that prison because, Lord, it make my skin crawl. You know, a lot of these guys are really, really cornballs. But here's the thing, like to get back on task, because a lot of times y'all know I do this. You know what I'm saying? I go, one question will take me down a road. But in the end, what I like y'all have to get off the internet looking for daddies. Like a lot of you men have to get off the internet looking for daddies, looking for instruction. Get out here in the field, get out here in the world, get in a boxing class, dog. Get around some men. Get in the ring, get punched in the face a couple times. You'd be surprised how clear your mind, you know what I'm saying, will become when that happens. You know what I'm saying? When you clear your mind, when you get popped in the face a couple times, and you know what I mean, when you around men who can hold you accountable, you'll be better off. Shout out to Miss Tunes. What state do you live in? Georgia, Atlanta. Yep. That just moved here, been about 8, 9 months. Melly. Okay. Oh, they had to be gay to stay. Well, no, Melly. That was kind of the thing. Like a lot of times, guys make an excuse for it because they're involved in it, right? And so that's kind of their thing when they're in there. But that's But shout out to what was y'all? What's that movie? You ain't heard it from me. What was that Liv Color when she was gossiping? You know what I'm saying? I forget her name, but y'all didn't hear that from me. But you know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway, but in the end, y'all like to these men, like to your brothers, cousins, friends, husbands, whoever they may be. If you have a husband, you know what I'm saying? That's good. You know what I mean? But a lot of guys shouldn't be. If you're just looking at it for entertainment as a man and some of these things, yeah, then it would be acceptable. Then it's a different sort of position. But some of these guys swear by these guys. Like they go on other people's chat talking about what other people say. Bro, you niggas got to stop trying to live vicariously through Kevin Samuels, dog. He was a one of one. He was his own man. He had his own flair, his own swagger, and who knows where he would be if he were here today. However, he's not with us. But you brothers gotta stop trying to quote his talking points, man. You take what you can from a man, and that's not to say that everything he said was incorrect. Definitely not saying that, because once again, he had a lot of valid points. However, you men have to stop. All you niggas do is regurgitate what you hear what you hear him say. He was the first one that I ever heard, Loretta, Miss Toombs, Chat, Melly, fit, feminine, friendly. Now, y'all tell me if somebody else said it, but he was the first he was the first one that I heard said. Fit, feminine, and friendly, right? Now everybody says it. Well, what about you being a man, being strong and being productive? When you deal with that, that fit, feminine, friendly is not is very, very is closer than you think, right? Stop trying to be another man. Stop trying to live vicariously through people on the internet because they have huge platforms, and you're allowing them to tell you what to think, and how to view the world, right? See it for what it is, and then deal with it accordingly. Shout out to Miss Toombs. Kevin Samuels was corny. What did you think was corny about him, Miss Toombs? What did you think was corny? Give me some specifics. What would you when you say he's corny? That's okay if that's your opinion. What do you think is corny though? Kevin died with someone. Kevin died with someone who was hidden. I don't know what that means, Melly. With someone who was hidden. I'm not sure what that means. You have to educate me a little bit on that because I didn't know. Like I said, I was just getting out when he was blowing up. So I missed COVID. Y'all, when COVID dropped, let me tell y'all a little bit of context about. I was just going back in for aggravated trafficking. I was just going back in, and I got locked up the Super Bowl of 2000. So whatever day that was, I think it was February 1st, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all go back and look that up, but it was in San Francisco. No. Let me bag it up. I got locked up that Friday. I went to court and they revoked my bond. They locked me up that Friday. And my girl at the time, she was crying. Instead of the third, it was that Friday. They put me in a holding tank. And then that Sunday, I was on the pod for the Super Bowl. So I think it was the third or whatever the case might be. And COVID hit that very next month, if I'm not mistaken. And I didn't know. So whenever what was going on with him and so forth and so on, I wasn't privy to any of it. I wasn't even on the internet, on YouTube until I got out of prison. You know what I'm saying? When I left the hole, and then you know what I'm saying, I started my old page and stuff like that. So that was that for me. Shout out Melly. He died with someone who wasn't his wife or a known girlfriend. Okay, yeah, man, that can happen to a man. That definitely can happen to a man. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't know. I don't pretend to know a lot about him. I do know he wore some beautiful suits. I do know he was very eloquent. You know what I mean? And I do know that he started off extremely small, and you know what I mean. And then his thing, just basically kind of took off. You know what I mean? And I remember him having like 7,000 in the chat. I do remember that there was a lot of people in his chat. His chat used to jump. You know what I'm saying? I do remember that. And so, you know what I mean? He had them cool colognes and stuff like that. The brother had a lot of swag, you know what I mean? And then, you're always going to have, and then there's always black people, that's the thing about black people, we're quick to call them in. They're going to be saying I'm gay in a minute, you know what I mean? Because that's just, I remember, you know what I mean? That's just always the slur to throw around because that's the thing that I guess, that hits the closest to home, you know what I mean? So I don't know if it was or it wasn't, but they'll call anybody, they don't, whatever. Shout out to Loretta. I wasn't a fan for one. He was another dude that would dog black women. I didn't care for his viewpoints, most of them anyway. Shout out to Miss Toombs. That's why a lot of these black men have viewpoints they have, especially about black women. Now, I will tell you, Miss Toombs, now, this is just to give you, I don't know about that. I will tell you this. I remember there was a white woman. I remember an episode I watched. She was trying to come on there and dog black women, and he said, "No, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna dog black women on my platform." So I do have to say that. You would have to go back and look at it. But I think that I don't know everything that you saw. You may have a different viewpoint of it than I. But I didn't see him as that. I didn't see him as that. But like I said, I'm looking through a man's lens. I didn't see him as attacking black women. I saw him as attacking. Uh, I saw him on being an advocate for men. That's what I saw, and I didn't necessarily think it was specific to black women. He may have came off harsh in certain circumstances. You know what I mean? But I think I do that. I do that as well. And I'm not usually. I think that a woman would have had to get rude with him for him to get rude with her. So, but I can't really speak too much. But I do remember that he would not allow anybody to dog black women on his platform. He wouldn't allow that. So I gotta tell you that. Let's see. Shout out to Rev. I believe that a lot of women that went on his show was looking for validation and had a lot of insecurity. Well, here's the thing, man. So, and there's, I think that women should seek validation from their men. You know what I'm saying? To a certain point. I think that all validation is not good and all attention is not good. But I think it's a natural woman. It's a natural woman trait for her to seek attention and validation and understanding from her men. I think where it can get messy if she's addicted to it. You know what I mean? So I don't. So there may be some truth to that as well. Shout out to Melly. I liked him because he worked at his craft. I respect that, but his message created a pathway that led a lot of our brothers to being negative towards our black women. Melly, and I think there's some truth there. I think that he was. I think that a lot of these black men, they haven't really been through anything. A lot of these guys are very, very hurt. And you can hear it the way it comes across, because when you tell black men that they shouldn't be with anybody, when you tell black men they shouldn't be with their women, like what type of stuff is that? What type of stuff is that for you to say that we shouldn't be with each other? And Kevin didn't say that, but a lot of these they're saying don't marry women. Corey Holcomb, like what? Like what? Like who are you to say men shouldn't marry? We should marry the very women that we were like. Who's going to help us? Like who? Where's your help meet at? You know what I mean? Like this. I'll tell y'all something. When I was on the way, well, me and my daughter, we called her Uber back. Gizmo sleep now. She ate and she's in the bed right now. Right? She's asleep. Let me tell y'all something. Right? This woman said you should teach your daughter to be independent. I said, nah, baby, that ain't what we do over here. This something out. I said, I teach my daughter independence. What's that? You don't even know what interdependence is. You so quick to say independent that's a. Why would I tell my daughter she needs to be independent of the very minute she's gonna need? You sound silly. Let's see. Shut up, damn, bro. You're a. But we should be. We should be what? I don't know. Hello, oh, non-Voss. What's going on? Good to see you. I just want to marry you, man, bruh. Okay, bruh. I don't know what type of time you on. Damn, she was hot. Who's hot, bruh? Like I don't know what you. Okay, if you trolling, brother, but God bless you, but I don't know what you're talking about. They want to be with. They want to be with men. Who you talking about? You talking about some of these men? Ms. Tools. I think that a lot of men that what they're looking for, they're looking to be understood, and what they don't understand is like women like men who are stoic and men who stand on their square, right? A man who has an immovable position. Now that doesn't mean that when new information comes in, he isn't willing to accept it and grow from it. But however, that means that he has a core set of principles. And I learned a long time ago, to thine own self be true, then thou can be false to no man. A man must establish principles unto himself and see that thou ever act accordingly. The first of which is to thine own self be true, then thou can be false to no one. That's the cornerstone. That's my square. That's my square. That is my rock. I die on it, right? Now everything else that comes around it, whatever, right? But for that I won't move off that. I won't move off that. Shout out to Miss Toombs. Yes, yes, she's sleep. Yes, she's resting right now. She ate. Again, I just gave her. She just had a bath, and so I had to jump on some of these. I had to jump on here, to get some of this stuff straight. Yes, some of these men, yes, let me see, Miss Toombs, that's why they act, that's what they act like, because how do you tell someone not to get married? That's insane. Isn't that why yes, Miss Toombs, we're better together than we are apart. And so and here's the thing, when men keep trying to act like there's so much wealth that's going to be taken. Black people got 2.5%, 3% of wealth. We ain't got shit in this country. Let's stop the cap. See, that's when I get real, y'all, and I really have to pop my shit. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, my man Ant, you know what I mean, of Urban Politicians TV. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to him because I got that from him. Let me pop it one time. Why would you think that why would you think talking like that is it? We don't have anything. What do we have collectively? That's so much that we have so much to lose. Like, man, get up out of my face, man. Like we have individuals who do well individually, but as a group, there is no group lower than us. So this notion that we have so much to lose, it's a joke. It's all cap, y'all. This shit is cap, man, and we gotta stop it. Shout out to Reddit. That's why they act. Okay, I read that one. You're so good with Gizmo. I try, Miss Toombs. I try. I don't know how perfect I am, but I do tell you this. I try. And I always remember that she needs me. I always remember that she needs me. So I have to show up. And it doesn't matter what my day was looking like. It doesn't matter what's going on. Everybody always says she's a happy baby. No matter no matter what turmoil may be going through, I will never let her see it. And so that's why, you know what I mean? I try to always keep that in mind that that little girl needs me. And I owe. And I'm going to make sure that I do that. Miss Toombs, preach. Girl, you know I don't be playing. We really don't. Miss Toombs, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So you tell me this poor guy, if black people have, y'all look up the average income for black men. The average income for a black man is about 40 grand. The average income for a black woman is about 27,000. That's a total of 67,000. That's average. Now, what does average mean? Somebody look up the definition of average. I don't want to tell y'all everything. Somebody look up the average, the word average. What does average mean? All right? It doesn't mean exceptional. We have to get it. Like when you look up the word average, that means, okay, what is your batting average? Yeah, one year you hit 3, in the next year you hit 215, next year you hit, 267. Oh, well, your average is 285. That means that's basically what you're consistent. That's what you're consistent. So the majority of us, we have if we were to combine incomes, we'll be looking at probably about 67, 70,000 a year. The majority of us. This is where the majority of us fall. You mean to tell me that we couldn't combine those incomes, work together, and build something? You mean to tell me that we couldn't do that with the invent of social media, with how talented our people are? We've created everything, and everybody benefits off it. We couldn't each family couldn't do that. Each family couldn't work together in order to create this so-called generational. When these women get on TV talking about they want a man who with 100,000, very few men make 100,000 a year. There's so very few men who make that kind of money. I don't think that people understand this, Miss Toombs. I don't really think that people understand math. I think that's really the issue. So because Austin counted a lot of money in his life, I'm gonna break this down right up top. For a man to make $100,000 a year, Okay, taxes probably going to take, let's say 25%. 25, let's just say when 20, he's going to be probably sitting on about 75. Okay, so that's about 75,000. Let's see, by a month, 12 times 7, 12 times 6, he probably pulling about maybe, I'm talking that he's able to walk home and keep, that he's able to actually keep himself. 6,700 a month. 6,700 a month, right? Give or take. That's damn good money. That's damn good money if you're doing that well. Shout out to you. The majority of us are not doing that well. The majority of us are not doing that well because we don't build with each other. Because we think that because we're caught up in an individual race. But the race wasn't meant to be ran that way. The race was never meant to be ran that way. And this is one of the major problems with this is the biggest problem with being cut off from our homeland and our culture. Because we can't go back 15 generations, 20 generations. We're not able to reach back that far. We're not able to reach back that far to get the lessons from the old people, from our ancestors. We're not able to get the lessons and what they thought and what they wanted us to know, what they wanted us to understand. So now we're left to our own understanding. Most of us can only reach back 3 generations, 4 at most. Miss Toombs, how many generations can you go back? I don't know. Let me see. My great grandmother was Ethel. I don't know. No, that was my grandmother. I don't know who my grandmother's grandmother was. I have no idea who my grandmother's grandmother was. Or my grandma, I think my grandmother had because that's why I get my middle name from Clinton. So I think my grandmother, I'm named after my grandfather. My daddy's grandfather name was Clinton. So that was my daddy's mother. That's all I know. That's all I know. Like I don't know the lessons of my people. I don't know what they wanted me to know. I don't know what they you know what I'm saying? I have no idea what they wanted for me. So I have to create that now because I don't know what they wanted. Right, exactly. So, and that's one of the major issues with our community is that we're left, we we don't know who we are. So now we're looking for people on the internet to tell us. We're taking our cues from Real Housewives, if you're a woman, and podcasters, if you're a man. Man, please. A lot of selfishness. It's too much selfishness. It's too much selfishness, Mr. Toombs. We need more selflessness. We need more selfless, not selfish, selfless. My family's so toxic and dysfunctional. Those people don't know our family history at all. I know a lot about that, Mr. Toombs. I know a lot about that. I know a lot about that. A lot of times, you meet people in the street, and they're more like family than the people you've known your whole life. They're more like family than the people you've known your whole life. And so those are the people that you know what I'm saying? Those are the people that you wrap your arms around. You know what I mean? That's, unfortunately, that's the way you have to do because you have to protect your serenity. You have to protect that at all cost. If that means cutting the people off that don't mean you that don't mean you well, so be it. But you black men got to stop looking for daddies on the internet. I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all are looking y'all looking very weak. And you know what's funny? And you know what's funny? Y'all got all the smoke for black men, But y'all don't got no smoke for Aiden Ross or Vlad or any of these other called Adam 22, any of these culture vultures that you allowed you that y'all let use y'all. See, they'll take your here's what I've said this years ago. They'll take your swagger, they'll take your culture, they'll take your words, they'll take your euphemisms. But see, they won't take you. They'll use your stuff. They just won't take you. And a lot of you black men are very soft. And you'll allow these people to misuse you, to treat you like I'll get a little vulgar here, ladies, please excuse me, like a woman to use a tampon and then throw you in the dumpster. That's why a lot of you black men get used. And you're letting these podcasters tell you how to think. What's them cornballs down who got the what's them cornballs? Help me out, Miss Toombs. Who's them cornballs down in Vegas? What is that? God damn it. I'm looking at them right now. They got the girls and they be having them in Florida, in Miami. Fresh and fit, fresh and fit. That's it. Like y'all looking to these guys. This is who you're looking to take your cues. You're looking to these type of guys to recognize they have drunk young ladies who are OnlyFans girls come on there to embarrass themselves, right? And then talk about them after you give them out. What did you think she was gonna do? Like, what did you think? And then disrespect these women. Like, what's masculine about that, dog? What's masculine about dragging a woman through the... Like, come on, my nigga. Like, come on, man. And y'all gravitate to these guys like they're the end all be all. So they can charge you for some money for a course to be a man. You watch your mouth, man. Almost. Miss Tubbs, almost. I'm trying. Because I'm trying. I'm trying. That's it. Say it louder. Mr. Toombs, I'm trying. Yes, and you a dog. YouTube was on it. Yeah, like as if everything they say is made of gold. As if these guys, once again, you're on the internet looking for daddies, but you're scared to walk up to a woman in the store and say, "Excuse me, ma'am, I think you're very attractive. And I was wondering, could I call you sometime?" Well, all she can say is no. That's all the woman can say. What, bro? She's not gonna bite your head off, bro. She's not gonna like. You'll be okay. It's okay, and who knows? That may be your wife, right? That may be the woman that you just. But once again, she's not gonna because as you should as a man make a move. You shouldn't be sitting back waiting for a woman that you like in your calculus class to say something to you. You should have the guts to walk up to her. Even if you super shy, listen, leave her a note or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about that. That might be corny. That might come off as, you know what I mean, childish. Yeah, that could come off as childish. Listen, man, take a shot. That's the bottom line. Stop listening. Stop listening to these people, man. Y'all have to stop listening to entertainers and athletes and taking y'all cues from podcasters and people who just gonna say the things that you want to hear in order to keep your subscription. I don't give a damn whether you like me or not. Everybody could unsubscribe to me right now. All 550 of y'all. And guess what? I'ma still say all of the same stuff I always said. I ain't changing for none of you. So blank you. It's another one out here that talks bad about single mothers. Mr. Toombs, here's the thing, right? And it's the thing. I've always said, I believe it's a bad bet for a man to date a single mom, and I gave a lot of illustrations for that, right? What I don't like, you can make your point and keep it moving. What I think what men need to do is focus more on themselves. When you are doing the things that you need to do as a man, you're not really even tripping off that. Because you putting yourself in a very rarefied air to begin with, right? But here's the thing: This content sells. It sells to talk about black women. It sells. So when you're talking, when you're dogging your own, that's the issue. You can monetize off that. Because what I've noticed a lot of guys do is they specifically show black women at their worst. You show black women at their worst and you specifically highlight them. That's my problem. That's my problem because you dog your own people. It's not like you an equal opportunity and you know what I'm saying, you're going off on you. White women do ratchet stuff. Yo, like what do y'all think? Like this is a westernized issue. It's not specific to black people, right? So this notion that white women are not overweight. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Now, there may be a lot less. Maybe I would have to look at the numbers or whatever the case might be because I don't know them right offhand. But I know this. I done seen a lot of, especially in West Virginia. Now, maybe when you go out towards California and stuff like that, you know, in nicer areas, probably not. But hell, ain't a lot of obese black women out there neither because they know they got to compete for real. Them guys out there got that chicken for real. So, you know, maybe that's a part of it as well. Shout out to Loretta. I can't think of his name. He literally built his channel dogging black women for being single mothers. I can't respect dudes. I agree. You won't get no pushback from me. They are ain't women. They are ain't women to approach them. Give me that again. Give me that again, Miss Toombs. Let me see. Here's the thing. It wouldn't be any single mothers. These dudes take care of their kids. A woman can't make a baby by themselves. This is true. But here now, this is where you'll get some pushback from me, Miss Toombs. Women have the reproduction. Women have total control. Only thing men have right of is where we put our seed. That's our biggest responsibility. After that, a woman decides who is and who is not born. A man could literally want that child and she can say, you know what? I don't want it. And she has the ability to delete that child. Simple as that, right? So what I think, what I've often said is this: women have to do their child and protect their virtue even if they get close. So there was a point in time when women did that, and because women control access to that, because we know we can't. There is no access to the woman is not allowed. If you do try, it's called rape. You know what I'm saying? That's punishable. You know what I'm saying? That's you know what I mean. That's there. So we have to. So our women, this is it's okay for a lot of people. They've already made every time in this deal, and that's okay. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. However, what I would like for our women to do, what I would like for my daughter to do, and it's about all about the stuff she's getting now. You gotta protect the virginity. Because in the end, virtual woman is always going to have the opportunity to be with a man. She's going to have those opportunities. Whereas the guy who didn't, it's times best. That's because my phone got I didn't see that. So no, so I'm gonna back this up. I've been doing the hour. Time goes by fast. Y'all for this. I appreciate y'all so much for being here. I'm back. Thank you for your interaction. Thank you for supporting me. Does not whatever is a predator, it took years. It took in this particular case, it took millennia. It took time in order to hone its skills to become the most efficient predator it can be. If you want said,